Uh, Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this student and alumni sharing session. I am Rajesh Panikar, a senior lecturer as well as the deputy head of Electrical and Computer Engineering Department in charge of outreach and student life. Thank you all very much for joining the session. And I'm sure you are looking forward to hearing from current students as well as alumni on what their life and perception in ECE is all about. For alumni, how they spend their 4 years here, and how it may have helped them with their career as well as development as an individual, as well as you know as a responsible person in the society. So here we have Parth Sanjay Gandhi and Tu Huiyu, who are our students who will be presenting. And we also have 4 of our alumni, Ma Zijian, Vera Lam, Benjamin Chung, and Sudarshan, who are all very excited to share with you, their life and experiences in the 4 years of ECE here and beyond. So let me also thank all the panelists who took their precious time away. It's a Friday evening. Nobody would be doing this if they had, if they did not have that, that passion and motivation to make a difference by sharing their story. So I really appreciate that, they took their time to share their experiences. So I guess Benjamin Chung will go first, sharing his experience. Thank you, Benjamin, and over to you.
Hi everyone, Ben here. It's very nice to be here, and thanks very much, Rajesh and Chi Hong, for inviting me along today to share with everyone. Just to check, you can hear me fine and well? Okay. And I believe now I should be sharing my screen. So I have about 5 to 8 minutes. I'll just give a brief introduction. Oh, my screen just went off. Sorry, can everyone still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
The title page, yes.
Okay, great. So, hi everyone. My name is Ben, and I am an alumni. I started my in ECE in 2017 and graduated in 2021. So, as you can tell, year 3 was at the height of COVID when everything first started. So, I'll give a brief introduction in terms of what my ECE experience was like and what I'm doing now. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me afterwards. So, my NUS experience was in electrical engineering as a major in the years as I mentioned earlier. And I did live in Tembusu College for the first 2 years, not as relevant to this talk, but just thought to mention it. And my student exchange program, I was supposed to go to Germany, but that was in April of 2020. So the week I was supposed to fly off, that's when COVID hit and circuit breaker started. So that was cancelled. I won't be able to answer any questions about student exchange. But if you want to know what it's like covering 3 modules in 6 weeks of special term, the short answer is don't do it. But those were the circumstances then. And right now, I'm working as a research engineer in IHPC, is the Institute of High Performance Computing in A-Star. So that's a research institute, I think one of 20 research institutes in A-Star. And at the same time, I'm also right now a joint appointee, so also a research engineer at NSCC. And NSCC is the National Supercomputing Center. So it houses Singapore's national supercomputer. So I thought I'd just give a quick rundown on some of the modules that I took so you have some background. These are actually zoomed in on the technical electives that I decided to take in my year 3 and 4. Pretty much started with computer architecture, and with my background before that working on some of the FPGA modules. I think the computer architecture module for me was quite important because that was what exposed me to the realm of RTL and digital, sort of like digital design and hardware, custom hardware design. And that was a module in which I realized that I was really interested in this particular topic. But as you can see, through year three and year four afterwards, I did explore quite a wide range of different topics among even the image processing side, AI, and even analog design. So this is my few 2 cents or takeaways. This picture at the right was actually, I found it last night when scrolling through my Insta stories. I think I posted that in year two, me sitting among the ruins. But jokes aside, the reason that I chose to go for mostly very technical and, even for some of them slightly more difficult modules during my year three and year four is that I do believe that these technical modules will form a good foundation, and that's the advice that I will still give those of you who are studying today. They would form a foundation for you to both um, know for yourself what are the types of areas that you prefer. You will probably attend some of these modules and realize that, okay, this area is not for me. And you attend some of those, like, I think for me, it was everything to do with like RTL level design that I then realized it's something that I really enjoy and I could focus on that moving forward. So I would say my own 2 cents is to think broad, and also my last point here is to consider which are some of the tools or skills which may be harder to self-learn later. So for example, I think for me, I actually only started really learning neural networks, like when it comes to, training, fine-tuning some of the standard benchmark models. I learned them myself after studies, because in my previous modules I focused more on like other areas. But there are certain topics such as, let's say, silicon design and the tools that are involved in that. When you are already out of a university, it's very difficult for you to pick them up on your own because they would require certain, closed sourced libraries or tools. So these are some of the considerations, and I would say don't fret too much from hard modules, but use them to guide kind of your own self-discovery of your own interests and career. Next, some of the internships that I went for in year two summer when I was still fresh and hardly knew much. I did my first internship at OSEC, that's the Optical Science and Engineering Center. It's actually a lab in ECE, I think under Prof. Hong Ming Hui, where I was looking at product design for microscopes. And then I did my industrial attachment. Not sure if you still have it now, but I did my 6 month attachment in Keysight, where I was working in the product security team. The product security team developed a number of software and internal tools, and I was in charge of their software testing, so developing an automated test bed that will allow them to run and test that everything works. At the end of my year three, oh sorry, in the middle of year three, I did a short internship about 2 months at Key Reply, which was my own exploration into NLP or natural language processing. There I was developing some of the internal tools for chatbot development. And finally, at the end of all of those, towards the end of my year four, that's when I realized that I did want to go much deeper into research as well as computer architecture. So I did an undergraduate research assistantship at NUS under Professor Tulika Mitra. So she's in the School of Computing. And that's where I did some of the module design, chip design, and verification for their tape outs. So short advice also is to go for more internships, because even though, as you can see, I joined like different teams and I'm not always working on their core product. Sometimes it's just the little bits of work that they need help with, like testing some software or developing an internal tool. Yet all of these experiences, I felt from my experience, uh, provided me a lot more insight into what some jobs are like. And some centers or some roles may not always be what you think they are before you join them. And in addition to that, you get to know more about what are the priorities of companies as well as what are the future trends, or even the ongoing trends, and what are their priorities. So I would say that internships for me, it was quite hard work, but it was pretty rewarding in that it really taught me a lot. This was my capstone project. I won't go into too much depth, but it was on FPGA design, and Rajesh was actually my capstone supervisor. So this was kind of a project that was proposed by our group, because we came together and we knew that, okay, we want to work on AI and we wanted to work on custom hardware. So we dived into literature, found certain surveys, and some of the bigger takeaways for me was learning how to navigate literature, how to read papers and identify opportunities, and of course, a lot of hands-on work. And yeah, this is the project that we did, which involved model compression for a convolutional neural network, as well as in the end designing a hardware accelerator on an FPGA. So this was the poster. My team still masked up, as well as I think a conference paper that came out of it with the help from one of Rajesh's students. So finally, last slide. This is my current role. I am working in IHPC, as I mentioned earlier, and I've been working for about 3 years in the topics below, generally focused on hardware acceleration. IHPC is heavily involved in AI modeling and simulation, so it's using high performance computing for a number of different workloads and supporting other sciences as well. I first joined under the neuromorphic computing program. That's now already ended, but we also look a lot at energy efficient computing or green computing. And in the last half a year, so quite a new role, but I've now have a joint appointment with the National Supercomputing Center, where it's a lot about large scale compute. And in there, I'm assisting with some of their data engineering tasks while also looking at how we can, in the same way, accelerate, make faster certain large scale workloads. And in short, my current research focus is largely on how do we enable certain everyday users, domain scientists who don't necessarily want to go into hardware details. How do we allow or enable these communities to use parallel computing better? So yeah, I think I've already used more time than I should. But if you are interested in any of what I shared today, or interested to know more about A-Star and NSCC, please feel free to drop me a message or drop me an email. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Benjamin, for that very insightful sharing. So now let us move on to Ma Zijian, who is a backend engineer at Shopee and who graduated in 2024. Over to you, Zijian.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Let me share my screen first. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. So, hi everybody. So, today I just give a short sharing about basically myself and my journey at computer engineering. Like Prof. Rajesh mentioned, I was computer engineering undergrad, who graduated last year. So, basically, when I was in school, I took computer engineering as a major, and I had double major in mathematics. So, this is just like a short list of my experiences. So as you can see, mostly just internships here and there. And if you can tell, I've been having a pretty strong passion in software engineering since the beginning. So that got me into my position today at Shopee. So before I continue, I watched a little bit of the previous presentation. So apologies in advance because my slides won't be as pretty as Benjamin's, but so I'll go on. Okay. Yeah. So I think I would be more focusing on what NUS, what ECE, and more specifically what CEG is able to provide you guys. I would say like what's the best takeaway I've gotten from my 4 years in NUS. So for CEG, first of all, I think the biggest something that really attracts me is it set me a really strong foundation for my job today. So since I'm working as a software engineer, I was able to take a lot of CS modules that really like broadens up my perspective and also like gave me a very solid foundation for be it job interviews or for like my day-to-day life as a software engineer now. Then next, I would say it's also pretty trendy. I mean, not sure whether you guys know, but I think most people know like nowadays everything is about AI, ChatGPT, large language models and stuff like that. And as I'm pretty sure as both CG or EE students, we have plenty of opportunities to take modules that are related to this stuff, like machine learning, natural language processing, or neural networks. Me, myself, and a lot of my friends from CG and EE, they've taken those modules, and I would say it's really helpful if you are interested in diving into this current trend of AI. And last but not least, I would say this is what I think is best about CEG specifically, is it offers a it is very flexible, basically. So as I said, I've been having a very strong passion about software engineering from the beginning, and I would be honest, I'll be honest that at the beginning I was going to go for CS, but I ended up in CG. But later I realized that CG, to me at least, is actually a better option because I wanted to do software engineering purely because I used to think that it's just higher pay. But being in CG made me realize that there's actually a lot more opportunities other than being stuck in software. So there's software, there's hardware, there's like design and stuff like that. And I would say being in CG gave me the opportunity to be exposed to all of these domains. And from there, I can actually pick what I'm really passionate about. In fact, a lot of my CG friends, some of them did end up becoming software engineers. Some of them became like UI UX designers. A lot of them work as like I think some chip engineer. I'm not really sure what they do exactly. One of my friend actually recently got an offer from Tesla as a vehicle engineer, and they're all from CG. Yep. So other than this, this is just about student life. So I think student life is one of the very like important part of being a ECE student. So personally, I was part of the NUS volleyball team, but that is just a photo of me when we went for competitions. But other than volleyball, I think this would be the highlight of my student life in ECE. So I was actually part of ECE's undergraduate student council, which I was appointed as a cohort representative, who was where I had the opportunity to like serve my cohort and plan a lot of very interesting events. So if you look at the photo on the left, that was a photo taken when I first got to MC for an event, which was the graduation party for EC students that was organized by our CCA. Then if you look at the top right corner photo, that was actually a photo taken when we organized a EC internship and career fair during COVID. That's why everyone's wearing masks. So yeah, I would say like being in ECE and being in like a CCA like this really got me a lot of opportunities to like plan all these very meaningful events and also try out a lot of different things that I would say is out of my comfort zone, like event planning, emceeing, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's this. Next up, one more thing about CG, I think it's really, really okay. I mean, it kind of overlaps with what I said just now, but it's really helpful in terms of career building. Because first of all, I'm not really sure whether the previous speaker has talked about it, but being in CG or EE, you will have to do this compulsory industrial attachment, which is like a 5 to 6 months internship in order to graduate. So I would say this gives you a lot of opportunity to work. Like when you're still a student, you're given an opportunity to work in a real life setting. So you get to know like what is expected from you in the future as a working adult. And also I would say in terms of the support provided in finding internships, EC is pretty amazing as well. Definitely we can self-source our own internships, but we can also apply via school portals. I'm, I think it's called NUS Talent Connect. So there's a portal provided by NUS for us to source internships. Then on top of that, like I mentioned previously, EC will organize our own internship and career fair, which is like only targeted at EC students. So it's like I would say it's slightly more efficient than those career fair that targets like let's say the entire NUS. So like there's these various opportunities for us to look for internships as well. Then next up, yep, I'm pretty sure this overlaps with what I said previously, but basically, in terms of career, if you're looking for something really cool nowadays like AI and stuff like that, machine learning, then CG is definitely one of the options you can go for because you'll be the core modules in CG actually gives you a very strong foundation in like be it programming or be it like the hardwares that are related to AI. So no matter which path you decided to go on later on, I would say that CG would be a pretty good option for you. Then last but not least, uh, for those people who are interested in continuing your master's or PhD studies in the future. I have a lot of friends from CG. They had this project called undergraduate research opportunities. So basically, as an undergrad, you'll also be given with opportunities to work with a professor or do research under them. And if you're interested in master's or PhD in the future or just research in the future, this will definitely be very helpful for your future career as well. Then one more thing, of course, is the friendship I've got from CG. So I understand that some people might think that yeah, it's uni, so probably you're gonna end up having friends like wherever you are, right? But I would say I won't really agree with that because one thing about CEG is, or like ECE actually, is like there are a lot of lab lessons. So how I made this group of very amazing friends is in one of the lab lessons we had in year one. So what makes it stand out from some of the other courses, let's say like CS or stuff like that, is that a lot of the other majors, in my opinion, just go for lectures and after lecture you just go home. So like you can survive well without working with anybody. But in courses like ECE, you have a lot of lab lessons, and lab projects are obviously like done in groups. So you're sort of like thrown with an opportunity to like closely interact with people, like work together with people and interact with people. So as a result, you will have a lot of opportunity to make friends. And in fact, that's how I met my best group of friends in uni. So yeah, I would say yes, definitely. There's other opportunities to make friends, but I would say ECE is a platform that contributed a lot to my current social life. Yeah. Then yeah, I think that's a rather short presentation. So that's all I've got. And I don't really have my email here, but you can reach me by either Telegram or my phone number. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Zijian, for that presentation. In fact, he was supposed to be in an important meeting at his work, but he managed to squeeze out some time to do the sharing with all of you guys. So, Zijian, we appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And next up, we have Vera Lam, who is a recent graduate from electrical engineering and who is now an executive engineer at SMRT Corporation. So, Vera, over to you.
Thank you. Hold on, I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. Hi everyone. Yes, I'm Vera, and I just graduated from NUS last year. I specialize in electrical engineering. So throughout my university journey, I was very lucky to be sponsored by Singapore Industry Scholarship to be able to continue my education, to fund my education, so that I believe I had more opportunities because of that. I could go for exchange and yeah. So currently I'm a engineering management associate at SMRT, and I'm working in the engineering performance and support department, where we actually track we do systems engineering. We track like how all the maintenance departments within the company are doing. We do audit. So it's quite a very interesting job role. Yes. Okay. So I'll be talking more about student life, maybe internships, as well as exchange opportunities, because I believe this is something that NUS ECE department, they really push everyone for, and I think that's what's very unique about the ECE department. So
Sorry,
for student life,
sorry, Vera. Sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing your screen? Because it
yes,
shows a bit of a blurry image with enter full screen mode.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
hold on, let me try again. Is it better now?
Hasn't appeared yet.
Let me try again.
Oh no, I'm seeing a black screen.
Okay, now I'm gonna try.
Sure.
Is it better? Okay, I will
Oh
do.
yes, yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Yes.
moving on. Yeah, thank you. So for student life, basically, I think for ECE, it's really cool that we have like common core modules in our first year. So I started out my first year when it was during COVID period. So you would think that it was very hard to make friends, but actually I felt that it was really okay, because we had a lot of common core modules. So there's a lot of project works, as mentioned, as by Zijian earlier. So you get to see a lot of like familiar faces in the first year, and you can make like a lot of friends. So these are the pictures of the friends that I hung out with during my uni period. They were really like hard carries. They really helped me with we really worked together with in our assignments, as well as we had a lot of fun. We like will go to the gym, we will like hang out together. So I think it's really cool that ECE has these common core modules in the first year. Yeah. So actually, if you can take a look here, the pictures on the left are actually from the ECE graduation party that happened last year, and it was actually held at Marriott Tang Plaza. So we got to celebrate like the end of like our hard work after 4 years of like studying so hard and doing projects together. So I think there's really many exciting opportunities and activities that the ECE department has planned for everyone. And I really encourage if you guys were to join ECE to really just take this opportunity to sign up for such events. Yep. And what's unique is in NUS we also have a lot of cross-disciplinary modules. So the pictures here with the children, of course, is module called Teach SG. So we actually go to schools to teach less fortunate children or less privileged children. So basically these are the children that I taught for about a year, and it was quite fulfilling because you don't get these opportunities elsewhere. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of projects with differing nature as well. As you can see here, on top there's this module called CD 2000, creating narrative. So it teaches us a bit more soft skills, like how do you present an idea, which I feel is very important in the workforce, as well as like my FYP inverter design project, which is more coding as well as electrical engineering hard skills in nature. Yeah. And I really do, if the people who are watching here, you are actually quite new, you haven't been to you haven't enrolled yet and you're thinking of enrolling, actually I would highly encourage you, when you're in your first year, second year, third year, fourth year, every year, if you can, go for internships, explore what you think you would like to do, because that's the best time where you can learn more about yourself as well. So this picture here, these few pictures here are basically pictures of that I took during my internship with SMRT. So I actually interned in the power department, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go through to look and see, to witness the major asset renewal works which happened in 2022, and I was really, really blessed to have like engineers who really just were very willing to like teach me about power and how the whole train system works as a whole. So it was a very exciting opportunity. And I wouldn't be able to get this opportunity if I did not go for my scholarship, which is known as the Singapore Industry Scholarships. So this industry scholarship does not only compromise of SMRT, there's also many other companies that sponsor university students. So there's like Semcorp Marine, there's ST Engineering, there's SIA. There's really just a myriad of companies, and I really encourage, if you do not have one yet, please go and try to get a scholarship, because you will get the funding to be able to go on things like exchange. You can get like hostel allowances. You can actually go for more opportunities. And I believe that NUS also has their own scholarship, and they also do help to fund exchange through bursaries as well. So I would really encourage everyone here to just go and take that opportunity to find a scholarship or even a bursary, so that you can just live your best university life that you can. Yeah. And what is very special about this Singapore Industry Scholarship is that I was able to have a lot of networking opportunities. So you can see in the picture here, it's basically one of our networking events with people from different companies, as well as people of different universities with different disciplines as well. So there are people who study business, there's people who study finance, people who study things like life science. So it was a really, really cool thing that I got to do from this scholarship. And another interesting highlight that I had was my semester exchange to Korea, and it was at Yonsei University. So it was about a 4-month stint in Korea. I got to learn in their school, got to assimilate myself into their culture, learn more about their culture, not just about like K-drama culture, but to try to understand their language as well, and how the people there live. And I think it was a very wonderful opportunity that ECE gave me. I was able to also complete some of my core modules there, which was pretty helpful in my journey to graduating in NUS. Yeah. So next I would like to highlight the unique opportunities that we have in ECE. We have a lot of industry partnerships and internships. There are a lot of professors that have outside industry partnerships. So they are able to link you up with big industry players where you can get to do FYP with people who, like Dyson. You can get to do FYP people like Micron, and we just gain some knowledge and application skills aside from whatever you learn in school. There's also the global exchange programs that I mentioned. So not only Korea, there's places like universities in Japan, United States, Canada, as well as in UK that you can go to. So I would really encourage you guys to just seek the opportunities to go for such global exchange programs to learn more. So I would also like to share more about SMRT. If any of you are in your year 2, year 3, or year 4, and you are looking for an internship, these are the areas where internships are available for SMRT. So if you're interested, I will be showing my LinkedIn later. You can connect with me, or you can just drop me a DM, and I can maybe help you with finding an internship as well. Yeah. So actually, when I started out, I'm currently engineering management associate. So actually, what is so special about SMRT is they offer this graduate program where you're able to go through a very comprehensive training to train you and make sure that you are prepared for they would develop your core competencies basically. So for the first month, you'll go through things like orientation program, fundamental training about how Singapore railway network is like, and then you will go more into in-depth training on your specialized area. So for example, if you're in rolling stock, you will be learning more on how trains actually function, how do we maintain our trains. And I think it's pretty cool, and it's something that you don't really find outside. Yeah. So if any of you interested, like I shared, you can just connect with me on LinkedIn. Here is my, the QR code to my LinkedIn. You can just drop me a DM if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Vera, for the sharing. Now, the last alumni who will be sharing today is Srivatsan, who is a CEG graduate from a few years ago, 2017. And he has actually gone on to obtain higher degrees after his CEG degree. So he will be sharing more about his story and his journey. Thanks, Srivatsan.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Srivasan from NUS batch CEG batch of 2017. Firstly, let me start by thanking Prof. Rajesh and the ECE department for giving me this opportunity. Let me just do something first. Let me try to bring this down. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll start. First, let me thank Prof. Rajesh as well as the EC department for giving me this opportunity. I'll start about a brief introduction about myself before going on to the academic and the non-academic aspect of the course. In between, I'll share the lessons I learned in the process. After graduating from CEG, I pursued a Master of Computing at NUS as well as a Master of Business Administration from INSEAD. My MCOM was in 2020 and my MBA was in 2023. Professionally, I've worked across different sectors since graduation. I started my career off as a C# developer for IRAS. Subsequently, I proceeded to work for Singapore Airlines as an RPA developer. Post MBA, I worked at the Volkswagen Group in a corporate strategy role before moving to Harting, a leading industrial connectors manufacturer in the innovation and science space. The key message of this is that to highlight the different range of experiences that I possessed after my coursework has been completed. So ECE professors are very passionate about teaching and have high expectations. I took three of Rajesh's classes: programming for computer interfaces, computer architecture, and embedded system design projects. In completing his coursework, I found myself burning the midnight oil and the weekends trying to understand how to design and submit the assignments on time. Though it was tedious, I found the skill set I picked up, the tenacity and determination, was extremely useful for me in pursuing a part-time master's as well as a MBA from a leading business school. On my left, you see a photo of me smiling with Prof. Rajesh. Though I did not feel the same way about him when I was doing his course, I later learned that he had actually helped me in my career, and I'm deeply grateful to him for that. NUS professors also have a fun side to them. On my right, you can see a photo of me with Prof Aaron. After completing his coursework, I had asked him if he would be interested in joining me for a durian buffet. He graciously accepted, and we spent the whole afternoon having durian to our heart's content. The CEG course is a mix of hardware and software. It gives you a wide toolkit of core EE skills and CS skills that will help you in your career. On my left, you can see the signals and system notes, and on my right, you can see the software engineering lecture notes that I had taken. I share this with you to emphasize how intense and demanding the coursework can be. This is a good segue to my next segment. Getting good grades is important for early career professional. This is because when you start off your career, you have yet to develop significant work experiences yet. Grades are just one indicator to your potential employers on your skills, motivations, and ability to do the job. However, always remember you're far more than your grades. In fact, in the process of completing the CG course, I picked up tenacity and determination that served me useful in my future career. On my left, you can see a photo of me and my friends sharing a meal before the CG 3002 coursework. You can see how tired and yet excited we are, and we stayed up overnight to complete the coursework. In my batch, the capstone project, the CG 3002 project, was a blind man project to develop a system for navigation for blind people. On my right, you can see a photo of me and my friends. We look tired yet proud that we had presented a poster for CS2107 information security. The photo does not mask the drama that goes into a last-minute submission. That leads me to the next point. Friends are always important. NUSCEG gave me a core set of friends, and I'm so grateful to them that they are in my life. On my left, you can see us working in 2017 for the Embedded System Design project. After that, we met up again for a few times to celebrate each other's career success. And 7 years later, in 2024, we met for each other's wedding. It's such a joy when you get to hear about their wedding and other things that matter to them. We all agree that CEG coursework is demanding. One tip I have for you is to use your time wisely at NUS to discover who you are and your passions. It's a good form of relaxation and it diverts your mind and it gives you balance. For me, I joined the NUS Toastmasters Club where I met all these amazing people. They're still in each other's lives. Furthermore, I took up Hindi as an additional language to take my mind off the core skills. I'd like to end by thanking each and every one of you, and I wish you all the best for your career. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Srivatsan, for that detailed sharing. And now we have two of our current students who will be sharing their experiences. So let me first invite Parth to share his experience. He is currently a CEG Year 3 student. Over to you.
Okay, I can. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So, hello everyone. Hi, my name is Parth, and I'm currently a Year 3 computer engineering student, and also doing a second major in quantitative finance. Just to share a bit of my background, I was from Anderson Serangoon Junior College, and I had taken physics, chemistry, math, and economics. So, at this point when, you're making an important life decision, which university to pursue, what course to pursue, I think it's an important decision, and you might be thinking, why should I go to NUS? So, here are some of the some of the reasons which I feel are very attractive for me and many of my peers, okay, when it comes to selecting NUS and ECE. So the first point which I'd like to touch on is the fact that the competitive reputation of NUS engineering. I mean, throughout the years, NUS engineering has come a long way, and every iteration of all the courses in NUS has just been improvements after improvements. Secondly, I'd like to touch upon the point of the flexibility to craft my degree and the journey as I wish. As you can see, I'm doing a second major in quantitative finance, which is usually not exactly very linked to computer engineering. But I would say that, when you're in NUS and because of the way your courses are structured and the flexibility that your degree gives you, you can plan out your 4 years in such a way that, you can think about what you want to achieve, and then you can basically craft your degree and take certain modules according to what you wish. Nextly, I'd like to touch upon some of the overall opportunities provided by the school. So, be it any sort of industrial experiences which you get, or as some of the previous speakers mentioned about industrial attachments and ATAP programs, I feel that those really give you an experience about how the industry works, and also get to allow you to network with industry partners. Also, I'll probably later be mentioning about my SCP experience, which is also one of the unique features which NUS has. Also, one of the other selling points of NUS has got to be the transportation options. So, as you know, that NUS is very well connected with stations like Clementi and Kent. I feel that it's very easy to reach the school from all different parts of Singapore. And lastly, as a current student, who is going through engineering and also my undergraduate in NUS, I think I really appreciate the SU system, and so do many of my peers, as it allows you to focus on really grasping your concepts and learning rather than just focusing on grades. So next, I would like to share a bit about my academic life in NUS. As you can see, within NUS, even during your first year, you are basically thrown into an environment where you're forced to do hands-on learning, which I would say is great because it allows you to allows you to network with many of your peers, and also allows you to do real life projects which you can showcase. So these are just some of the projects which I did in year one. I can show the videos if it's okay. They are quite short. Yeah. Yeah. So this is one of the projects which I did in my year one sem one, which is the first module which we take in NUS, which is Engineering Principles and Practice Part 1, where we were tasked with designing a robot which can navigate through a maze, and uses color detection at the bottom, and yeah, navigates through the different walls of the maze. So yeah, it's as you can see, we also had a feature where it recognizes the color and displays the color on the top, and basically it has to go towards the finish line, and at this point it plays the music, but it was rather loud, so I didn't play it. And this is one of the other key modules which every NUS engineering undergrad takes, which is one of the highlights of my year one. Yep. So, and besides that, throughout our time in NUS, we are also not just focusing on studying, but there's also a lot of exposure to companies in the field. And this is just one of the industrial visits which I had during my year one, which was at AMD. And interestingly enough, currently I'm also an intern there at AMD. Just a minute. Besides that, during my second year, I also had to be part of many CCAs where I served in key leadership positions, which allowed me to build upon my leadership skills. So first and foremost, I served as the 42nd president of IEEE NUS student branch, where we had the opportunity to organize events, deal with various stakeholders, you have to deal with the school, you have to deal with the club and arranging the logistics, arranging the events for the club, and also liaising with the IEEE as an institution. As you can see, this is one of the pictures which me and my friends took after a successful event with AWS. Besides that, I also served as the programs director for freshman orientation programs for NUS Computing Club, which was basically us planning the orientation for the newly joined year ones. And while studies are important, I find that CCS allow you to develop your soft skills, allow you to gain experiences which you might not, by just by just continuously studying. Next, I would like to touch upon my overseas exchange, which was at Purdue, where I had basically managed to take many classes, and it gave me an opportunity to learn about living overseas alone, and also to learn how learning happens in the Western world. I think for most of us, within our years of education in NUS, we deal with education in a certain way, and the Western world has its own train of thought when it comes to education, and an overseas exchange is one of the best ways for you to explore beyond just NUS. I managed to go to Purdue, okay, which was recommended to me by some of my professors because it's known as a very hard engineering school, where they are notorious for some extremely hard engineering classes. Nonetheless, I would say that my experience there allowed me to firstly develop myself living alone, far from family, with friends, and also allowed me to go outside of my comfort zone and try to learn in a different environment. And it also allowed me to reflect upon what I had learned in NUS, and made me realize of how fun and how well coordinated NUS is. Besides that, obviously, when you have the opportunity to go on exchange, you also get to travel a lot. So this is just a picture of me and my friends at a golf range which we went to in Indianapolis, and this is a picture of us in Six Flags Park, which was near the Chicago area. And this brings me to the end of my presentation, and I would say that here are my final words for those who are thinking about considering NUS and ECE in particular. I would say that I'm currently writing my own journey, okay, and I feel that it's good to give some thought as to what you want to achieve over the next few years, and before you go into the workforce, and perhaps you should think about what you want to achieve in the next 4 years before you start to go out into the workforce. And that's about it from me.
Thanks a lot, Parth, for that sharing. And finally, we have Tu Huiyu, who is our EE Year 4 student, who will be sharing her experience.
Hi everyone. Hi. Really good sharing by Parth just now. Yeah. Hi, my name is Hui Yu, and I'm currently a year 4 student in electrical engineering. 4 years ago, I was just like you guys. After I received my A-level results, I don't know where to go. So there are so many courses to choose from, and let alone so many engineering courses for you to choose on. So let me share with you what I've learned in these 4 years of electrical engineering. So first of all, opportunities are everywhere in NUS. So besides my degree in electrical engineering, I also have a minor in computing and a minor in entrepreneurship. And then some of my favorite electrical modules are actually signals and system, just now someone shared. So this is where I learned, and it's really fascinating to me that you can construct every possible signal with just a sine wave. And then this is digital design, where I actually made a game with a very low level programming language, which makes the game really low power and super fun. And then next, we also touched on data engineering, which allowed me to make sense of big data, which is actually super relevant for the trend right now, which is in AI and machine learning, right? And then besides studying and the modules, I also got to explore beyond electrical engineering and beyond NUS through overseas opportunities. So I got to go on an entrepreneurship internship in Norway under the program called NUS Overseas College. So this is me driving a speedboat because we are doing a test for our hardware startup, which is a floating buoy in the Norwegian Sea. So I got to go on exchange in the University of Southampton, which has the top rated electrical engineering course in the UK. And 2 months ago, I just came back from an internship in Taiwan, TSMC. So after experiencing so many different cultures, it actually hit me that, how holistic the education is in NUS and how many opportunities we actually get to access in NUS. It also helped me to recognize how important or like how valuable the NUS brand name is actually. Yeah, because every single time when I say that, oh, I'm from NUS, people in Taiwan go like, oh, that's a really good school. So yeah, that's for you to think about if you value reputation. And then beyond studies, I also had a lot of fun. For example, I had more than 10 CCAs when in the past 4 years combined, and I actually stopped counting them because it gets too much. And then I'm also very involved in the entrepreneurship and in the startup side, where I actually co-founded an edtech startup called Harvest Education with my NOC peers. And then I also had a lot of fun with my really smart electrical engineering friend. So over here, this is my closest group of friends. This photo was taken 1 year apart. This was in Changi Airport, and this was actually on a road trip in Iceland. So I just want to wrap up with my presentation to that NUS actually provides you with many opportunities. And if there's one thing I would like you to take away from my presentation is to surround yourself with passionate people, because there are so many smart professors in NUS, so many interesting modules for you to take, and so many smart and interesting peers you can learn from in NUS. So if you have any question, feel free to drop us a message in the chat, or you can connect with me by LinkedIn. And also, last but not the least, I also like to share that I'm currently building a really fun social game. It's called Type. It's actually for you to find out your personality type through other people, because how we see ourselves is very different from how other people see us. So we are launching in the end of May. So I hope to see you on Type, and you can join us and be the first few to try out Type through this sign up form. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys in NUS ECE.
Thank you, Huyu, for that sharing. So we have come to the end of this sharing session. All panelists have already, shared their experiences, and hopefully these experiences, have allowed you to get, better insights into, what life in ECE is like. Okay, so let me once again thank all the panelists, as well as all of those who joined the session, for taking your precious Friday evening away to, listen to us. Now, I have an appeal to you. Please, follow us on social media, where we post our updates, news, and happenings in the department, which will allow you, to be in sync with what's going on. And we have our NUS open house tomorrow. Our booths, electrical engineering, computer engineering, as well as a booth for second major in computing, will be located at the U-Town Sports Hall 1. Okay, at the Stephen Radius Center, U-Town. We have an active presence on Facebook as well as Instagram. It's quite easy to search for NUS ECE and find us and follow us. So thanks again, and thanks once again, and wish you all a very pleasant evening ahead. Bye-bye.